Hello and welcome to a new episode of Trains App, and today we're at Kings Langley on the West Coast Mainline. We're seeing services from Avanti West Coast, London Northwestern Railway, and with any luck, some freight as well. Sadly, Southern will not be featuring during this as they just don't appear to be running. Just going to walk through the gap in the gate to catch an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, working as service from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. $390,045 with the honours. Okay, the next train to arrive and pass underneath the M25 is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, going from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. $390,119, sporting the Pride livery. Just an assault of colours. I have no doubt we'll be seeing that on the return at some point. Alright then, the next train to make an appearance is another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, about to pass underneath the M25 with a service bound for Liverpool Lime Street. $391,228, not really giving it completely what for, but still at a reasonable speed. Again, about to appear from behind the foliage should be, if I can have a look out, it's a pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers working a service from Preston to London Euston. I was never going to get the numbers for those. Smells good though. Alright then, the next train to arrive is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, working a service from London Euston to Glasgow Central. $391,223. Picking up a little bit of wind. And the next train to pass by is another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. That one is Lady Godiva, but I can't remember the number. Okay, the next train to pass by after 3 minutes of viewing, we have something different. A London Northwestern Railway pairing of 350s going from London Euston to Birmingham New Street. $257 and $124 giving it the beans. Happy days. Okay, the next train to arrive is going to be the 1231 London Northwestern Railway service to Tring, worked by a pair of Class 350s. Leading proceedings is going to be $352,35. Sporting the British Transport Police colour scheme. And on the rear is $352,31. Excellent. Okay, departing now is the 1231 London Northwestern Railway service to Tring, as another pairing of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s are about to pass by, with a great two-tone going from Milton Keynes Central to London Euston. 267 and 402 were at the helm of that one. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. 241 and 409 going from Crewe to London Euston. Okay, the next train to pass by is, I think, going to be a convoy from DRS going from Wembley to Crewe Gresty Bridge. led by a gorgeous sounding 68. 68013. With 57002 on the rear, and god, that 68 sounds good. There'll be the Chiltern Railway's 68 on the front of that then. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be 39103, working an Avanti West Coast service from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. I suspect it may just win the race going around that corner. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be the Avanti West Coast Class 390 heading to London Euston. (39152). I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting a train from London to Birmingham. I'd have to check that one. I may have got me wires crossed there somehow, but I'll find out in a few minutes when I get the opportunity to, once I've stopped yapping. Okay, here we have 35375 with one of our classmates working the 1241 blah 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 blah. Yep, that one. The London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston from Tring. I shall get the rear unit when she departs. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to another Avanti West Coast Class 390 heading to Birmingham New Street. The previous one was going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. 39047, trundling our way through in the grand scheme of things. Again, departing now is the 1241 London Northwestern Railway service from Tring to London Euston. The rear of this being 35113. Well, that one caught me completely by surprise because I wasn't actually paying attention, I was otherwise engaged. But now I believe we have a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s about to pass by, bound for Northampton, led by 350-103. With 248 bringing up the rear. Okay, and the next train to make an appearance is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. I want to say 390-138. It probably isn't that, but I want to say it, and therefore I shall say it. Okay, we've got two trains coming now. The first is going to be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Northampton to London Euston. The second will be an Avanti West Coast 390 going from London Euston to Manchester Piccadilly. 106 and 403, and that was 390-008. And that is just a large waiting shed. Amazing views, I know. Doesn't get any better than that. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a DC Railway Class 56. And my god, it sounds good. 56-103. with 60046 bringing up the rear, going from DB Cargo UK Fans A and B sidings to Humberston Road. My God, that 56, that was something else. Okay, so from underneath the canopy we now have another 390 about to pass by. 390-013, bound for some weird and wonderful land. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a Freightliner 66. I'm guessing it's bound for Felixstowe. I can't find any info about it. But it's 66502. Certainly not hanging about. Okay, the next train to come charging along is going to be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s on a service from London Euston to Crewe. and 254. I still can't find any info as to that freight train, so my belief is it is bound for Felixstowe, but as its origin point, I honestly have no idea. It could be anywhere. It could be Coatbridge, it could be Garston, it could be Crewe Bass Hall, it could be Lawley Street, could be anywhere. It's a complete guess. But now incoming, running over a minute late, is the 12:59 London Northwestern Railway service to Tring. Lead in proceedings is 353.74. Sporting the advertisements of Liverpool South Parkway. With 352.40 bringing up the rear. Plenty of people on board as well. Okay, the next train to make its presence known will be an Avanti West Coast 390 going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. I couldn't see the numbers on that one, but that was a cracking time by that driver. Thank you very much. And as now departing is the late running 12:59, the London Northwestern Railway service to Tring. That was a belter of a tone. I don't know why I did that sort of dramatic pause then, so I went behind the middle. I could have just followed through, but there we are. It wouldn't be a Tornado 922 film without some weird camera work on the go. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. I believe these are bound for Northampton. .373 and 109 bound for Northampton. I'm surprised they're running on the fast line, but there we are. I'll take it either way. Okay, the next train to make an appearance is going to be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. .108 and 236 with a fair amount of wind. Alrighty then, the next train to emerge from behind the trees is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino running from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston, wearing a face mask. And then we have a Freightliner 66 barreling her way down, or up, working a container train from Felixstowe North to Crewe Bass Hall. I'm in the wrong place for this. I wonder. Bear with me, bear with me, bear with me, bear with me. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Lovely job. Okay, so here we have 66548. I must admit, I thought there was going to be a hell of a wind coming up from that, but I was surprised it wasn't. Very steady. Okay, the next train to arrive is going to be the 1312 London Northwestern Railway service from Tring to London Euston, worked by a pair of 350s, which is now the norm. 35231 leads it in. With 235 now bringing up the rear. Marvellous. Okay, next parting is the 1312 at London Northwestern Railway service to London Euston. These trains are more busy today than they were during my rush hour period when I was at Tring. That's ridiculous. Okay, we've got a race going on here between a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s and an Avanti West Coast Class 390, the former going to Milton Keynes Central, the latter heading to Manchester Piccadilly. 265 leads it in, followed by 127. And then we had 390-006 for good measure. And then the next train to come charging down the West Coast Mainline will be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Northampton to London Euston. (259) and 246. Okay, and down in the distance we have, I believe, a GBRF Class 47 hauling, I'm guessing, something from Northampton to Ilford. Could very well be a Class 360, but we'll find out at some point. (47,727) Edinburgh Castle, taking 360,121 with 47,749 bringing up the rear. Okay, the next train to pass by is a pair of Avanti West Coast 221 Super Voyagers bound for Birmingham New Street. 221-143 was leading, but I couldn't get the rear, I'm afraid. Alrighty then, the next train to come charging up the West Coast Mainline will be an Avanti West Coast Class 390 Pendolino, going from London Euston to Liverpool Lime Street, as the lorry passes overhead. (390-016), and then we have another 390 coming down for Avanti West Coast, going from Preston to London Euston. (390-139), and that's a definite 139, that one. So God knows what the other one was. Okay, we're going to have a crossover here as the next two trains to pass by are going to be going from Glasgow and to Glasgow. numbers for which I have no idea. Alright then, the next train to make an appearance is going to be another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Manchester Piccadilly to London Euston. $390,020. I don't know why, but I'm having a real tough time seeing the numbers on these 390s now. In fact, there's an awful lot of dust being kicked up from that train as well. Hell of a lot of dust. Again, as the road haulage does its thing, we focus on what's coming along the rails in the form of two London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from London Euston to, thank you very much, Birmingham New Street. $354.09 and $352.41. Okay, the next pair of trains to pass by are another load of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s going from Milton Keynes to London Euston. $368 and $116 going at a rather sedate speed. Not going to blow the wigs off the passengers on the platform with that one. Okay, the next train drive is going to be the 1231. No, yes, hold on, is it? 1331, you idiot. London Northwestern Railway service to Tring, led by 352.67. $253 brings up the rear of the London Euston service from Crewe, as 102 is on the rear of this service. Spiffing. Okay, the next train to pass by is the Avanti West Coast service bound for Manchester Piccadilly. Lady Godiva. Hold on, that's... oh my giddy arm. I'm pretty convinced that's three... you know what, I'm giving up. I reckon it was 390,039 for the last three of them, and that one's 390. I'm going to bed. I'm going home. I'm going to go home and I'm just going to sleep. Because apparently I need it. Alright then, the next train to pass by is another Avanti West Coast Class 390 going from Birmingham New Street to London Euston. I'm really struggling to see these numbers. Normally I've got no qualms, but I'm struggling here. Okay, we've got three trains on the go here. The first is going to be an Avanti West Coast Class 390. The second is going to be presumably a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s. And then the third, a GBRF 66. That's 391.52. Oh no, it's going to be a stopping thing. I thought it was Northampton. Never mind. It's the 1342 London Northwestern Railway service from Tring to London Euston. Then we have a GBRF 66 going from Felixstowe to Hams Hall. 66.736. Fully loaded. Again, it's parting is the 1342 London Northwestern Railway service from Tring to London Euston. Leading the way is 352.40. With 374 now bringing up the rear. I can hear an Avanti West Coast 390. I think that was 125 bound for London Euston. plenty of dust being kicked up on that section of the line. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a London Northwestern Railway Class 319 going from Northampton EMD to Watford Junction. 319-433. I do love the 319s. Then we have 390-044 bound for London Euston from another far and distant land, with again plenty of dust being kicked up. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be a pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s bound for Northampton. The previous 390 was from Manchester Piccadilly. Here we have 350-113. With 375 and a nice little single time from the driver there. Thank you very much. Okay, the next train to pass by is going to be another pair of London Northwestern Railway Class 350s bound for London from Northampton. 101 and 244. And a lorry. Okay, our final train of the day is going to be a Rail Operations Group Class 37 going from Leicester LIP to Orient Way. $37,608. Trundling our way down, so as she continues onwards, I shall leave it there. Thank you all very much for watching, it is greatly appreciated. If you have enjoyed listening today, then please do like and subscribe. Feel free to leave a comment. As 39138 passes by, I do go back to them as and when I get the opportunity to. I have thoroughly enjoyed my time here. It's certainly having the variety I've had. I've had, what, 56, a 60, 37. I've then had a 319. It's, yeah, then 66s. I still can't work out where the other freight train came from. All I know is it's going to be bound for Felixstowe. But as from its origin points, I honestly couldn't tell you. But my next film is going to be from Bushy on the West Coast Mainline. That will be a rush hour film. So really looking forward to doing that at some stage during the week. But as ever, if you have any trucks at locations or relatively quiet stations you'd like to see me go to, then please do let me know and I shall see what I can do for you. But until next time, from me here at Kings Langley, I shall see you all later. Take care, guys. Goodbye.